Hello everyone, Warrior of Darkness here, and today I've got a tutorial for you guys. I'm going to show you guys how to transfer animations from one skeleton, monster, character, demi-human, or whatever, to another. And so we're going to be going over how to do that today. So first thing, you'll want to load the animation into the loaded PAP side. As you can see, I have an animation from Spectral Berserker, the sweeping slash sort of animation here. And today's goal is to get this animation onto Edge of Shadow, which I have here. So we're going to go ahead and what you want to do is you'll export the raw file and you'll save it to some folder where you can find it. There you go. I've already done all this, so I'm just going to go ahead and go through the motions. And then the other thing you want to do is save the skeleton file, which you can find it here. If you can't find it in the SKLB editor, which I've found it here, I've already got it loaded in, you can always find it here above the animation in the motion tab. So you'll want to go export as raw, yada yada. I've done that already, Berserker. And so then in the same side here, not in the SKLB editor, in the loaded PAP file, you'll want to go to actions, and then you'll want to load the animation you want to replace, and you'll save it. You'll also save this one like you did the other one, export as raw file. Then you'll save the skeleton for this particular animation, which in this case is Midlander Male. For combat abilities, most of the time you could just use Midlander Male, unless you have Rogadin. And even then, sometimes Male Rogadin will allow you to use Midlander Male without any issues. I found that Lalafell also sometimes will allow you to use Midlander Male, but keep in mind the proportions may cause discrepancies, and you may have to adjust things in Blender as you go along. So trial and error on that one. So what we're going to do here, we have our animation. I already have the Edge of Shadow in there. What you do, you'd save this, and you'd save the skeleton, and then from there, we're going to go tab on over to MultiAssist. So in MultiAssist, what you'll want to do is you'll want to select the animation that the animation you're trying to transfer over, the one from the original source. So we'll pick that, and you'll take the skeleton. The skeleton you want to load in here. You want to load the animation and the skeleton. And the skeleton you want to load is the skeleton that matches the animation that you're extracting from. So, for example, I have the Spectral Berserker animation. So I'd want to select the Spectral Berserker skeleton. So that's what we're going to do here. And then you hit submit. And in the bottom, it'll show you here, bottom left, it'll show you a list of animations that are in this PAP file. For obvious reasons, this one is just one. And then you'll select the place you want to save it to. I'm just going to select miscellaneous. You'll give it a name. You'll select a format. I always use FBX format because it's the easiest to work with in Blender when transferring between the game and Blender. And then you'll just hit export. Then you'll wait for that. Then you'll go to Blender. And so I have a couple of plugins that I use to smooth this process over, make it easier. So let me open up my menu here. So the first one we'll be talking about after I import all this stuff. So the thing you want to do first, before I even talk about plugins, is import your animation. So here's our Berserker / animation or whatever. When you come from MultiAssist, for some reason, the animation will load in tiny, like as you can see, it's just a dot on the screen. Don't worry, just go over to the sidebar here and select scale and change all the values to 1. And there you go. You'll have your animation loaded in properly. So as you can see, there you go, animation plays. We'll go ahead and shorten this so it plays on loop. So as you can see, we've got our Spectral Berserker animation here. All right, so the first plugin we're going to talk about is BlenderAssist, which I have here. And what I use BlenderAssist for, I use it to import blank skeletons that I can use to then create, transfer animations to. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use this. If you see these values here, that means, well, these values here will import the last skeleton you worked with. So for me, that would be Lalafell. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that animation. And then I'm also going to choose our Berserker skeleton here. No, sorry, that's incorrect. Not the Berserker skeleton. You'll want to load the skeleton for the character that you're going to use it for, like for this case, Midlander. I'm sorry, I was wrong. Don't scratch that there. So we're going to use this. I'm going to go ahead and select my Midlander skeleton, and then you'll hit import, and also it'll load tiny like the other one. You'll just set the scale to 1. And for some reason, it turns the character 90 degrees negative, so you'll just want to change the Z value to 0, and then your skeleton will be facing forward. Alright, so from here, you're going to go to the Rokoko plugin, which I have here. Rokoko, you will be required to make a Rokoko account. It's free. You don't have to worry about paying anything. It's not something I pay for. It's a free program. But you'll have to sign in to Rokoko here in the actual Blender plugin. So you'll do that, and then it'll bring up these options here. What we're going to be focusing on today is retargeting. And so for retargeting, it takes the anime. Here, I'll show you. In fact, I'm not even gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you. You want to load in your original animation, and then the blank skeleton, build a bone list, and it'll automatically just populate this area here with all the matching bones, everything. If for some reason it doesn't, you'll have to manually enter the values, which I don't suspect you'll have to do for just transferring from one Final Fantasy skeleton to another, but if something happens, you'll have to do it. And if you do that, it should remember that for each time you want to use it. So, what we're going to do, we're going to check, make sure everything's all right. Everything looks in order. And then we're going to hit retarget animation. Boom. That's done. Once you've confirmed that, first of all, you want to hit this eye icon to hide the original. And now you've got your character. You got your character skeleton with the spectral berserker animation that I had here. All right. Once you've confirmed that everything is in order, what you're going to do, this is important because if you save the FBX file, if you export the FBX file as it is, you'll get a mess. What you're going to do here is go up to the original animation that you took this animation from, right click it and hit delete hierarchy so that that's no longer in this file, because you'll get a lot of mess if you don't do that step. So after you've done this, what you'll want to do is you'll just export as FBX, save this. I'm just going to go overhead and override the one that I had before because I've done this like twice already. And so there you go. There's that. And then you'll go to, wait, hold on. Let me make sure my settings were correct on that. Yeah, always make sure that if you're doing it this way, make sure these are unchecked so that it doesn't just, anyway, you'll get a mess if you don't. I've tried this a million times, and it becomes a mess if you don't make sure these things are off here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to MultiAssist, and we're gonna go to the Repack tab, and you're going to select the edge of shadow. Well, for me, it's the edge of shadow animation. You're gonna select here the animation that you want to replace. You're going to select the skeleton of the animation that you want to replace. For, in my case, it's Midlander male. And then you're going to select the FBX file we just created, the one where our character skeleton is doing the berserker slash there. You'll hit submit. It'll show you all the animations, which again, it's just this one for this. And then you'll you'll type in a name, you'll select a place to save it to, which for me, miscellaneous. And then you'll hit repack. Done. Back in the game, what you're going to do is you're going to put your animation that you want to replace in the being replaced section. And then in loaded PAP, you'll go to path. You'll go down to local path. And you'll select the new PAP animation we just made in MultiAssist. And so there's that. You'll check motion, the motion tab to be sure. And there you go. You've got your character and skeleton doing that. Doing the berserker animation for me. And then you'll just test it. And there you go. And see, now you see how that works out. So we've got, yeah, so you get how it works. You just follow those steps, and that's pretty much it. I'll have the links to all of the programs in the description, as well as instructions on how to install the Blender add-ons and plugins. That's fairly simple. This is fairly simple, and if not tedious, but very simple. That's it. That's all I've got for you guys, and I will see you guys later.